ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिक्षीदसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनामवित्रगवतो गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरः ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां श्रीकण्ठाराध्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां सदाशिवं शिवां स्कन्दं केशवं पद्मसम्भवं नन्दीश्वरं कुम्भयोनिं भरद्वाजात्रिगौतमान् नमोऽस्तु गुरवे नित्यं श्रीकण्ठशिवयोगिने श्रुतिसारशिवविशिष्टाद्वैत परभाष्य विदायिने जगद्गुरु श्रीरेणुकाचार्या मङ्गलं देहि प्रभो साम्ब शिवाय नमः साम्ब शिवाय नमः साम्ब शिवाय नमः. So yesterday we saw about the glory of Nandishvara, how Nandi is glorified in the Upanishads. Vahanam Vrishavo Yasya Vasukih Kanta Bhushanam. He is a very, very important personality in Shaivism, and through Nandi's grace, we get the grace of Lord Shiva and not otherwise. And he is the vehicle of Mahadeva. The bull in Sanatana Dharma represents Dharma. The Dharma itself is the vehicle of Mahadeva. So the Dharma is under the control of Samba Shiva. And we recounted the chapter from Varaha Purana, 213th chapter, describing the glory of Nandishvara, how he was involved in terrible penance in worshipping Mahadeva. And when Mahadeva appeared in front of him, he appeared with a divine, serene, spiritual form. His divine qualities and characteristics are glorified in the Vedas and Upanishads. We saw that the glories of Mahadeva, how his form, divine form, was beautifully described in the Varaha Purana 213th chapter. And then the Samvadam, the conversation between Mahadeva and Nandi, where Mahadeva gives a big list of, oh child, what do you want? Do you want the Ashtasiddhi, or do you want Indrasanam or Brahmasanam or Vishnu Asanam? Do you want Ashta Aishwaryam, or do you want Ganadhipatyam, the leadership of the post of the leadership of the Ganas? But Nandishvara replied by saying, I don't want any of these things. I just want unflinching devotion to your feet. Give me that kind of devotion where I will worship only you and not anyone else. So that is the example of Shiva Bhakti. And we saw that. And then Mahadeva, after giving boons, after Nandi attains the Sarupyam of Lord Shiva, and we are going to see how the appearance of Nandi is in this chapter, in the upcoming chapter. And then Nandi attains the Sarupyam of Lord Shiva, and then Mahadeva says, you have become birthless. Like there is no birth and death for you anymore. You have become my eternal attendant. You have become my eternal Gana, like eternal servant. So you will be guarding me eternally, and you will become my vehicle. And then he disappears from there. And then we are going to continue with the 214th and 15th chapter of Varaha Purana, continuing the pastimes of Mahadeva and Nandishvara. 214th chapter Varaha Puranam. Brahmovacha antarhitam tatastasmin bhave vai bhutanayake babuva divyaksatада nandi ganachamupatihi. So the story is recounted. We saw that yesterday. The story is recounted by Brahmaji to Sanat Kumara Maharshi. And then Brahmaji says this to Sanat Kumara Maharshi. When Shiva, the Lord of Beings, disappeared, when Mahadeva disappeared, Nandi became the leader of the Ganas and divine in form. His form was very similar to that of Mahadeva because he has attained the Sarupyam of Mahadeva. And how did he look like? Chaturbujas Trinayano Divya Samsthana Samstitaha Divya Varna Vapuscharu Divya Guru Samanvitaha Trishuli Paridhi Dandi Pinaki Maunja Mekhali Shushube Tejata Tatra Dvitiya Iva Shankaraha. He was with 4 arms, and then he had 3 eyes, Nandi. And then he had a divine complexion, and he had an aguru like odor. And then he had a trident, and he had a spear and club and the pinaka bow. And he was looking like another Lord Shiva. But we have to understand that Nandi has attained the Sarupyam of Lord Shiva. No one can become Lord Shiva. One can become the eternal servant of Mahadeva. No one can become Mahadeva. So, since Nandi has won the favor of Lord Shiva, he attained the Sarupyam of Mahadeva. This is how Nandi looked like. And then seeing him, tam drishtva kecharak sarva devatah parishankitaha akyatum puruhutaya sambrantah prayayudirvam tebhyak shrutva sahasrakshak sarve chanye divaukasaha vishadam paramam gatva chintamape direbrusham. And seeing him, all the gods became afraid. All the devatas, Indra, Brahma and Vishnu, they became afraid of seeing Nandi. And then all of them, Indra came from Swargalokam, Brahma came from Satyalokam, and Vishnu came from Vaikuntham to have the darshan of Nandikeshwara. And ayam kaschid varam ladva hayumakan tan maheshwarat atyurjita balak shrimam strailokyam prapsyati dhruvam. Here is someone who has got a boon from Maheshwara, and he is looking like he seems to look like a person who has great might, and he is sure to control all over the worlds. He is sure to control all the worlds. But a Shiva Bhakta is not interested in becoming the controller. He is always interested, he or she is always interested in becoming the devotee of Mahadeva and serving Mahadeva and Parashakti eternally. They don't want to be the controller. They don't want to become Brahma or Vishnu or Indra, or they don't want to be the controller of the worlds. So the Devas have a misconception. And then his enthusiasm, effulgence and strength will enable him to snatch away the place of celestials. His strength, he seems to have enough strength. So he will snatch away everything from us. He seems to be like that. And all the Devas are discussing together. And then, so since Brahma is recounting this story to Sanat Kumara Maharshi, he says, Vidata Vishnuhu Prabhus Tribhuvaneshwaraha Abhyadavam Tatak Sota Sahijanati Hridgatam. All the Devatas, Vishnu, Indra and Brahma, they rushed in anxiety. And the gods and the sages began looking for him. And Vishnu, along with all the Devatas, they came to the spot where Nandi was remaining like a god. Tataksa Bhagavan Vishnu Sahadevak Sada Trikaha Jagama Tatra Yatrasau Nandi Tishtati Devavat. Nandi was looking like another Shankara. So they came to that spot. Brahma, Vishnu and Indra, they came to that spot. And then 13th verse. Nandyuvacha Safalam Jivitam Mega Safalascha Parishramah Yanme Drushtak Suradhyakshak Sarvaloka Gurur Harihi Paryaptam Tanmamadyeha Kritakrityosmi Tena Vai Yachame Prabhuravyagrah Pritak Papaharo Haraha. My life has become fruitful, but a Shiva Bhakta, as we discussed, doesn't want to become the controller. And after seeing Indra, Brahma and Vishnu, Nandi thought to himself, my life has become fruitful. I have seen all the Devas. That's why Kalagni Upanishad says, Sarvan Devan Nyato Bhavati, Sarveshu Tirteshu Snato Bhavati. Just by applying the Basma, just by applying the sacred ash on the forehead, it is equal to bathing in all the sacred rivers. And it is equal to have worshipped all the Devatas like Brahma, Hari and Indra. Sarvan Devanyato Bhavati. It is equal to have known all the Devatas like Brahma, Hari and Indra just by applying the Basma on the forehead. And here our Nandishvara had won the favor, had seen the divine form of Mahadeva and had acquired boons from Mahadeva. So what to say of Nandi? Just by applying the Basma, it is equal to knowing Brahma, Hari and Indra. Then what to speak of winning the favor of Mahadeva? The Shiva Ganas are worthy to be worshipped even by the demigods like Brahma, Vishnu and Indra. And then Nandi says, my life has become fruitful and all the Devas are here. How fortunate I am. And this is enough for me. I am fully gratified. Mahadeva was pleased with me, and then he gave me various boons. And this is what happens in the many places. If you see Upamanyu Maharshi, he worshipped only Lord Shiva. Under the guidance of his mother, he worshipped only Mahadeva. He did not worship anybody. And then when Mahadeva appeared, it was not just Mahadeva appeared. Mahadeva along with Parashakti sitting in the left lap of Paramashiva, very beautiful scene. And along with Skanda and Vinayaka and Nandi, and all the Koti Rudra Ganas serving the feet of Maheshwara and Parashakti. And it doesn't stop there. To the left of Mahadeva is Lakshmi and Narayana sitting on Garuda reciting Rudradhyaya. And to the right of Maheshwara is Saraswati and Brahma reciting Rudradhyaya sitting on a swan. So here Upamanyu Maharshi worshipped only Mahadeva. He did not worship anybody. And all the Devatas came. Likewise, if you see here, Nandi worshipped only Mahadeva and he asked a boon. Give me that kind of devotion where I will worship only you and not anyone else. And all the Devas came to worship him. All the Devas, all the Brahma, Vishnu and Indra, they came to fall at the feet of Nandi. And then Deva Uvacha. All the Devas said to Nandi, Deva Uchuhu Vayam Tam Varadam Devam Drakshyamasте Varapradam Tavaisha Tapasa Tushtak Svayam Pratyakshatam Gataha Ityuktavantaste Deva Punaruchur Dvijottama Kutra Drakshya Devam Bhagavantam Kapalinam. We wish to see the benevolent God Shiva. That serene, smiled face Mahadeva, we wish to see him who gave you boons and whom you gratified by penance, whom you pleased by engaging in intense penance. We wish to see him. Where can we find Lord Shiva? All the Devas ask Nandi. And Nandyuvacha, Nandi says, Anugrihya tu mam devas tatraiva darshanam gataha na jane kutrava devam kutraste Tad Gaveshyatam. After blessing me, O Devas, Brahma, Vishnu and Indra, after blessing me, the Lord disappeared right away. And I'm not sure where he is, but a search needs to be made. We can search for him. And then, because Nandi, there is a reason why Nandi says this. Because before disappearing, in this chapter it is conveyed, Maheshwara before disappearing, he said some things to Nandi. And it is told here, Ishvara Uvacha Asti Kaschit Samudresha Kshite Siddho Drisamkataha Pare Himavatah Punye Tapovana Gunair Yutaha Tatra Shlesha Matako Nama Vasate Pannagottama. Oh Nandi, beyond the Himalayas there is a nice place, where there are numerous hermitages. And there is a great serpent named Shleshamataka. And he has been doing penance to me, just like you are engaging in penance to me for a long time. He has been engaging in penance for a long time, and he has been absolved of all his sins. His sins are free. He is freed of all sins. So I have to go there to urgently to bless him. Mahadeva said that to Nandi. And so it is described that, because of the long penance that he performed, even the rocks in the Shleshamataka forest have become sacred. And that's why it is, whenever if you go to some sacred places like Kashi or Tiruvannamalai or Chidambaram, you feel that Shiva consciousness within you. That's because, Tiruvannamalai and all, there are so many saints. Eternally they think of the form of Mahadeva, they engage in rigorous penance. When a sage does penance in that place itself becomes auspicious. Entire place becomes auspicious. And that's what Mahadeva also says. Since that snake was doing penance to me, that entire forest, even the rocks have become sacred. Even the rocks there are considered to be Shiva Lingas now. The entire place has become auspicious. Mrigarupena charata tatra vai tridasha maya drashtavyaha Sanjidrita Kshanta Kinnaschan Veshane Mama Nakyatavyam Tvaya Tesham Devatap Sarasamidam Anugrihya Varaistaischa Tatraivan Taradiyata. I will be moving. I will conduct a Leela, O Nandi. I will take a form of a deer and I will be moving in the form of a deer. And then after intense, terrible search, the gods, the demigods will come and find me. And you should not inform this to the Devas or Apsaras. And that's why, Mahadeva says, you should not inform this. You should not tell this to anyone. You should not tell this to even the Devatas who are searching for me. And that's why Nandi said to the Devas, is a very interesting Leela. So, and then Nandi says to the Devas, I do not know, because like he has left, after giving boons to me, he disappeared, oh Devas. But we can conduct a search. And then it is described, all the Devas, it's like who all came, everybody came to see Nandi. All the celestial women like Gritachi, Tilottama, Urvashi, Menaka, Ramba, and all the 33 crore Devatas, Indra, Brahma, Vishnu, and all the sages, Pulastya, Atri, Marichi, Vasishta, Bhrigu, Kashyapa, and all the Gandharvas like Paravasu, Vishwavasu, Haha, Huhu, etc. And all the great rivers. The great rivers also came to see Nandishvara because he obtained a boon from Mahadeva, like Sarayu, Tamra, Aruna, Charubhaga, Sita, Chiravati, Nanda, Parananda, all the rivers. Also the rivers taking a human form, they came to worship Nandi and Mahadeva. So it is described that, rivers, though we see, externally we see, okay, fine, water flowing, that's how a river is considered. But actually they have a physical form also. When Agni, if you see the fire, when you see the fire, it is not described with a form, but in the Puranas it is described. Agni tried to take, with his hands, he tried to take the fireball that emanated from the third eye of Mahadeva, and Agni himself was burning. So there Agni is described with hands. Though fire, if you see externally, he is fire, but he has a physical form also. Likewise, the rivers also have physical form. And even in Siddhanta Shikhamani, 2nd chapter, the Puranas, they take forms and they serve the lotus feet of Parameshvara. Because the Purana Saram is Mahadeva only. So the Vedas also, they have a divine form. Upanishads also have a divine form. And the Puranas also have a divine form. Likewise, the rivers also have a form. And they come to serve Nandishvara and Mahadeva. And every one of them, they do an intense search for Mahadeva. And they come to a place, and then they come, and then Evam agatya te sarve deva vishnu purogamaha shriya jvalantam dadrishur nandinam puratak sthitam. And then they came to a place, and then they saw Nandi over there. And then the resplendent Nandi was shining in front of them. And then they watch again, they said, oh Nandi, all obeisances to you. We have been coming in search of Mahadeva, but we see you. Sa supritos deva uchuhu sa supritos tu te deva sada ashupatir mune sarvatra cha pratihata katischastu tavanaga bhavan devaistu vana syadata urdvam vijottama niramayo mritibhutas charishyati vibhuksuki. We came in search of the Vibhu, Mahadeva. Vibhu means infinite. Vibhu means infinite. One who is not limited. Whereas we are Anu. From the blade of a grass till Vishnu, everything is Anu. Anu means infinitesimal, finite. Vibhu means infinite. That is Mahadeva. We came in search of the Vibhu. Samba Shiva, Trayambakeshwara, Mahadeva. And thank you for showing your presence. And then they see Nandi over there. And then all glories to you. Let there be unhindered supremacy for you. You have become greater than the demigods. You have become greater than the Devatas. You are even greater than us now. And then they ask the same question to Nandi again. Where has Lord Shiva gone? Oh Nandi, Kutrasau prastito badra kutrava sagatopiva pashyamo vipratam sarve devanam adipam vibhum. Where is that Pashupati? And pratyuvacha tatak shakram Nandi Pashupatim smaran. Nandi actually meditates. Pashupatim smaran. He meditates on Mahadeva, and then he replies. And then he gives the same reply. Then he left this place, and then I'm afraid to find out where he has gone. And then he says, we can go in search of Mahadeva. We can do a search of Mahadeva in the complete, all the worlds, all the 15 worlds, we can go and search. Because after giving boons, he disappeared from here. And then he gave the same reply. And the 215th chapter, Brahmo Vacha, Tatak Shakrak Sura Ganaihi Sahasarvai Sametyacha Buddhim Chakara Gamane Margitum Yatra Shankaraha Tata Uttaya Te Deva Sarva Eva Shilochyat Shilocyatam Vihayasa Yayuk Shigram Tenaiva Sahanandina. And all the demigods, Brahma, Vishnu and Indra, they were searching, they started searching for Mahadeva, everywhere in the sky they were searching. They started searching in all the underworlds. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala. And they searched him completely in the Bhuloka, and then the upper worlds, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam, that is Brahma Lokam, and then Vaikuntham, that is Vishnu Lokam. They searched everywhere, from the blade of a grass, from the Patal Loka till Vaikunta, they searched everywhere. And not a blade of a grass was left out in their search. All the Devatas, Brahma, Vishnu and Indra were searching, and everybody, the list that I provided, Vidyadharas, Gandharvas, the Apsaras, everybody were searching, and they were not able to meditate. They were not able to find Mahadeva. And then all of them meditated on Lord Shiva in their hearts. Mahadeva is in the heart of all the living entities. Tukishrutam, Gartasadam, Yuvanam, Mriganna, Bhimamupahatna, Bugram, Radacharitre, Rudrastavano, Anyante, Asminnipapantu Senaham, Deva, Nagum Kritagebhyo Nama. He is in the heart of all the living entities, and he is also present in the heart of all the Devas. And then they meditated on Lord Shiva in their hearts, and then and then after doing an intense search, Sarvam Trilokyam Asma Birvichitam Vai Nirantaram Shlesha Mataka Vanodresham Stanam Muktva Mahitale. Finally, as we discussed earlier, Mahadeva decided to go to the Shlesha Mataka forest to bless the snake who was doing intense penance to him. And then after doing meditation on Mahadeva, they came to know that Mahadeva is residing in the Shlesha Mataka forest, and we have to go there. And then Mukta Churna Nikashabir Valukabis Tatastata Vikridamanam Dadrushuh Kanyam Kaschin Manoramam. Here they saw that a beautiful damsel who is none other than Parashakti, Srimati Lalita Tripura Sundarani, Uma, Ambika, Aparna was playing there in that forest. Manorama, very important point to be noted. Manorama is one of the names of Parashakti. Where does it come? In Siddhanta Shikamani. Amritartam Prapannartam Yasu Vidya Pratagini Aharnishamaham Mande Tam Ishana Manoramam. Parashakti is Manorama, and Paramashiva is Manohara, the most beautiful man and the most beautiful woman. And Parashakti is Manon Mani, and Paramashiva is Manon Mana. In the Vamadeva Mantram, in the Vedas, Mahadeva, the final word, 11 names come in the Vamadeva Mantram. Vamadeva Yanamo Jeshta Yanamak Shreshta Yanamo Rudra Yanamakkala Yanamakkala Vikarana Yanamo Bala Vikarana Yanamo Bala Yanamo Bala Pramatana Yanamasarva Bhuta Damana Yanamo Manon Mana Yanamaha. Manon Mana, it ends with Manon Mana, and Parashakti is Manon Mani. So they see that Manon Mani, Aparna, Tripura Sundari, Ambika, Uma, Parashakti, she's a young damsel playing in the sand. Muhurtam Dhyanamastaya Vijnata sa Mayatata Dhruvam Shailendra Putriyam Uma Vishveshwareshwari. She is described as Vishveshwareshwari. She is the Ishwari of the Vishveshwaris. Sometimes, Saraswati and Lakshmi and Indrani can also be referred to as the goddess of the universe. But she is the goddess of the, goddess of these three personalities. She is even the goddess of Lakshmi, Saraswati and Indrani, and she is also the goddess of Brahma, Hari and Indra. Hari Brahmendra Vandita, Lalita Sahasranamam describes Hari, Brahma and Indra are worshipping her. And then Lakshmi, Vani, Nishevita. Lakshmi and Saraswati are fanning her. Lakshmi and Saraswati to her are standing to the right and left of her and fanning her with the chamara. So Lalita Sahasranamam describes. And then they, after meditating for a while, they realize that they have seen none other than the universal goddess, the goddess of the entire universe, and the daughter of Himavan. Shailendra Putri, Himavadgiri Kanyakaha comes in the Shiva Sankalpa Upanishad. Uma Sahayam comes in the Kaivalya Upanishad. Ambika Saha comes in the Taittiriya Samhita of Krishna Yajurvedam. So Shailendra Putri. So that's how Mahadeva is beautifully described in the Vedas and Upanishads. He is eternally described with that Parashakti. Eka Shringaika Charanam Taptahata Kavarchasam Charu Vaktra Kshidarshanam Prushtatah Shukla Bindubihi. And then he was in the form of a deer. As he said to Nandi before, I will be in the form of a deer. And then the demigods, after doing an intense search, they will come to me and then they will approach me. So likewise, Mahadeva is beautifully described. He is in the midst of the herd of a deer, and then he is having one horn and one foot, lustrous like the molten gold, Hiranya Varna. Hiranya Bahave, Hiranya Varnaya, Hiranya Rupaya, Hiranya Pataye, Ambika Pataya, Uma Pataye, Pashupataye Namo Namaha. The Vedas describe Hiranya, he is golden in complexion. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, and Ishavasya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Bhasma Jabala Upanishad, Brihad Jabala Upanishad, and all these Upanishads, even the Manusmriti describes him to be golden. Rukma, Suvarna, Hema, Hiranya, Hiranmaya, all these names very often come in the Vedas referring to the complexion of Mahadeva is golden in complexion. Hiranmayena Patrena, the effulgence coming out of the body of Mahadeva is also golden. And with beautiful face, he's described as having beautiful face and eyes and teeth, having white dots on the back. So sometimes if you see the deer has the dots, usually with black dots or white dots. Here Mahadeva, since he was in the form of a deer and he was in the midst of the other deers, he was actually having white dots on the back. And then his beautiful form is also described. And then after the Devas saw this, they thought of catching Mahadeva. Shringangram pratamam dhritva grihitva vajrapanina madhyam maya tasya tada grihitam pranatatmana jagraha keshavaschapi moolam tasya mahatmanaha. They tried to catch Mahadeva. Who can catch Mahadeva? Only a Bhakta can catch Mahadeva. Even Brahma and Vishnu are searching for the beginning and end of Lord Shiva. Brahma is still searching for the head of Mahadeva. Vishnu is still searching for the feet of Mahadeva. Varshakoti Sahasram tu Sahasrabdair Atanvakam Bhaktya Sampujidopisha Padono Darshitastvaya. Vishnu says in Padma Purana, Patalakanda, 114th chapter, he says, I have been searching for your feet for crores and thousands of years, but you have not manifested that to me, O Mahadeva. So here, Brahma, Vishnu and Indra, without even engaging in bhakti, devotion, they tried to catch Mahadeva. And this is entirely a Shiva Leela. And they tried to catch Mahadeva and finally he disappears. Only the tip of the horn, they tried to get hold of the horn of the deer, who is none other than Mahadeva. So the tip of the horn was caught by Indra, the middle by Brahma and the lower part by Keshava, that is Vishnu. And then the horn, after they caught hold of that, that broke into three pieces. The tip of the horn was in the hand of Indra, the middle was in the hand of Brahma, the lower part of the horn was in the hand of Vishnu. And then Mahadeva, the Akashvani, Mahadeva spoke. Mahadeva did not appear in his form to give anugraham to the Devas, because Nandi did intense devotion. There was no expectation in the bhakti of Nandi, and he did intense penance and his bhakti was real, and that's why the divine form of Mahadeva was seen by Nandi. Whereas here Mahadeva spoke through the Akashvani. He did not appear in his divine form. Bobo deva maya yujam vachyamana navapsyata sa shariroham yushmabir pashaptak pragatas vivataha shringamatrena santushta bhavantastena vanchitaha. He became invisible. The deer became invisible. That is, Mahadeva became invisible. And then, oh Devatas, you have been deceived by me. It is my Leela. You are taking part in my Leela. I am here with my body and you have just got my horn. So you are deceived. And then Mahadeva says, Yadyaham sa sharirah syam grihitva stapito bhavam tada chatushpat sakalo dharmaksyat pratipaditaha. If you had caught hold of me entirely, if you had caught hold of my entire body, then if you had placed me, then the whole dharma with its 4 feet would have been established, because the scale of dharma in Kali Yuga is 1 out of 4. It was 4 out of 4 in Satya Yuga, 3 out of 4 in Treta Yuga, 2 out of 4 in Dwapara Yuga, and 1 out of 4 in Kali Yuga. And that's why if you see most of the people, they are not interested in engaging, they are not interested in knowing who am I in reality. So what is our nature in real, who are we, and who is God, who is Mahadeva, and what is our relationship with him and me. That thinking, that engaging in bhakti to Mahadeva, that will reduce in course of time. And Kali Yuga, no one will be interested in engaging in Shiva Bhakti, and Shiva Dvesham only will be spread across. So Mahadeva says, if you had caught hold of me entirely, then the Dharma with its 4 feet would have been established. And you have just caught hold of my horn. And then he glorifies, and then you have to install that horn that you have caught, and then worship me according to the Vedas and Upanishads for the welfare of the world. You have to install that in the Shleshamataka forest. And then Mahadeva goes on to glorify that place very beautifully. Tatra snatva harer loka nupasprushya divaspatehe muktva deham nara yanti mama lokam na samshayaha. Those who come to this Shleshamataka forest and then take their bath, they will reach my world definitely. They will cross all the worlds. Because the Shiva Lokam, Parakailasha, is beyond the highest world that one can attain. There is no world that is equal to it. There is no world that is greater than it. It is beyond all the worlds like Indralokam, Brahmalokam, Vaikuntam, Golokam, Skandalokam, Devilokam. Parakailasham is beyond all the worlds. And one will reach my world for sure if one takes bath here. That's what he says. So he glorifies that place. People who come here and people who come here and do Nama Japa of my name. If they do Nama Japa, if they just chant one time Namah Shivaya, it is equal to chanting. They will get the credit. They will get the Sukruti of chanting Namah Shivaya 1 million times. Because this place is very powerful. This place is like, it is various Siddhas and various sages have come here and they have done penance. And that's why this was one of the holiest places. And since you have installed me here, it is even more, it has become even more holier. And then he says one thing. Niyatam, Mahadeva says, again he is speaking, he doesn't appear in his form, and he is not speaking in his form. He is speaking from the Akashvani. Sometimes you hear voice from the Akasha, right? So that is Mahadeva's voice itself, the Mahadeva himself speaking. Niyatam puruhutasya shritakstane vasantite deva dhanava gandharvak siddha vidya daroragaha munayop saraso yaksha mohita mama mayaya tadvai guhyam na jananti yatra sannihito hyaham. So all the devatas and Danavas are bound by my Maya Shakti. No one can cross my Maya. Mayam tu prakritim vidyam mayinam tu maheshwaram. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 4th chapter 10th verse says that everything is under the control. Maya itself is under the control of Maheshwara. And if one wants to cross over that Maya, one has to surrender to Maheshwara. There is no other option. Adavantecha madhyecha bhasase nanyahetuna mayaya mohitaha shambhor mahadevam jagadgurum. 18th verse Panchabrahma Upanishad. Adavantecha madhyecha. All the devatas and danavas are under the control of Maheshwara's Maya. Tirobhavam is one of the activities, right? Creation, maintenance, destruction. Tirobhavam, that is concealment, and then finally giving liberation. Mahadeva is described as Panchakrityeshwara. He is the doer of 5 activities. So no one can cross the Maya of Mahadeva without surrendering. Only by surrendering to him, one can get rid of the Maya. Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamevaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Lord Shiva says that to Rama in Shiva Gita 14th chapter 43rd verse. No one can cross this. No one can get rid of the 3 modes of material nature, oh Rama. But one can do that by completely surrendering to me. And that's what Mahadeva here says, that the Gandharvas, Siddhas, Vidyadharas, Devatas like Brahma, Vishnu and Indra, the Danavas, that is the Asuras, Apsaras, the sages, Yakshas, everybody are deluded by my Maya. So they are unable to know who am I. Just like Upamanyu Maharshi knew, Shvetashvatara Maharshi knew, Gautama Maharshi knew, Shveta Maharshi knew, our Srikantaradhya, Renuka Bhagavatpada, and our Nandi, how they came to know about Mahadeva, because they were bhaktas, they completely intense devotion, through their intense devotion they came to know about Mahadeva. But these personalities, they do not engage in intense devotion, so they are unable to know me. That's what Mahadeva says. And this is described as, this entire kshetra, this Shleshamataka forest is described as Siddha Kshetra, and it is frequented by ascetics. Ascetics very often come here for penance. Tapastapo dananam cha siddha kshetram hi tatkrutam prabhasacha prayagacha naimishat pushkaradapi. It is also equal to, it is even superior to Prabhasa Kshetram, Prayaga Kshetram, Naimisharanya Kshetram, and Pushkara Kshetram, and Kurukshetram. Mahadeva says this in the 55th verse of the 215th chapter in Varaha Puranam. So very beautiful. Whenever we are going for a, Kshetra Mahatmya, whenever we go to, as Shiva Bhaktas, whenever we get a chance after this, COVID gets over, we can go to Shiva Kshetrams and we can have this Kshetra in our list. It's a very interesting Kshetra. And then he also goes on to say, whoever offers lamp here, he will come back to me eternally. And then he who renders me service with vocal or instrumental musical dance, he who does a dance thinking of me here, or he who does music, Shivanama Sankirtanam here, uttering praise and keeping awake in the night, he come back to me eternally. So that because of the power of the Kshetra. Gita Vaditra Nritya istu. Nritya, who does dance. And Gita means who sings about me. Stuti bir Jagarenava. Stuti, who does Stuti. We can sing, Abhilasha Ashtakam or whatever from the Stuti from the Puranas we can sing. Yeme kurvanti sevam vai mat samstaste bhavantihi. He comes back to me for sure. And then Dagna Kshirena Maduna Sarpisha Salinena Va Snapanam Ye Prayachanti Tetaranti Jarantakau. He who bathes me with milk, curd, ghee, honey or water, he overcomes, he goes beyond age and death. He becomes ageless. That is, he goes beyond the repeated cycles of birth and death. He attains like the ageless state. That is, he comes back to me. There is no coming back after that. He doesn't take birth again and he eternally comes back to me. He attains moksha, that is liberation, by engaging in. So these are the things mentioned in the Shodashopachara. If you see the Shodashopachara, 16 things that are offered to Lord Shiva. One of, Shravanam is one of the things, Kirtanam, doing Kirtanam, and offering milk and offering curd and offering ghee, offering water. These are a part of the Shodashopachara. If it is done in that place, Shleshamataka forest, with intense bhakti for Mahadeva, he goes beyond the shackles of repeated birth and death. Mahadeva says that. And then finally, he says, this chapter, it is coming to close. Shringametat trida bhutam samyak samshruyatam suraha gokarneshwara ityetat prithvyam kyatimeshyati evam sandishya Vibudan Devadevak Sanatanaha Adrishya Evam Vibudai Prayayavut Taram Disham. And then the horn, this horn that you have placed here, that is broken into three, will become famous in the world as Gokarneshwara. That is the place Gokarneshwara. So, and then Mahadeva, after saying this, the glory of this place, and since he has been installed there by Brahma, Vishnu and Indra, and then Mahadeva still being invisible. It's a very important point to be noted. He is still invisible to them. He has not appeared in his form. Like we discussed yesterday, he did not appear in his divine spiritual form to give boons to them as he did for Nandi. He still remains invisible to them. And then he disappeared. And then the Akashvani disappeared. So, the takeaway points are very, very important. So, we saw that from these two classes, we saw the intense bhakti of Nandishvara. The glory of Nandi is present in various Puranas. Shiva Purana, Linga Purana, Skanda Purana, Vamana Purana, Varaha Purana, which we are discussing now, Padma Purana, everywhere. And he just is interested in serving Mahadeva and Parashakti alone, and he doesn't worship anybody. there is no need to worship anybody. Shiva Eko Dhyeyaha, as the Vedas say, Upanishads say, Shiva Eko Dhyeyaha, Shiva alone is the only personality that one should seek for to get rid of the repeated cycles of birth and death. What is the human birth's goal? To get relieved from the repeated cycles of birth and death, right? And who can do that? Only a person who is ageless, only a person who is birthless, who is deathless, who is beyond the repeated cycles of birth and death can alone relieve you from the repeated cycles of birth and death. And not a person who is bound by birth and death. So Mahadeva alone is described as birthless and ageless in the Shastras. So that's why Nandi asks, I have to worship only you. Give me that boon where I will worship only you and not anyone else. So this is one of the takeaway points, that Mahadeva alone is the only object of meditation according to the Vedas and Upanishads. Whichever path you take, finally you have to come to Mahadeva. Be it Ganapatyam or Shaktam or Vaishnavam or Kaumaram or Sauram, finally you will have to come to Mahadeva. After taking multiple births, after attaining purification in those paths, you will have to come to Lord Shiva for moksha. So that is one thing to be noted from our dear Nandishvara. And then intense bhakti. He did intense bhakti and sadhana. That is one of the most important things, because without engaging in intense sadhana, we cannot attain Mahadeva. And that bhakti should be real bhakti, not, there should not be any expectation. Ahaituki apratigata. There should not be any intentions, there should not be inner expectation, there should not be any expectation in that bhakti, and bhakti should also be unbroken. 1 month I have worshipped Mahadeva and then next month let me take a break. That's not the way. And then the first thing is actually no expectations. And Mahadeva is in the heart of all the living entities. Mahadeva will give whatever because he knows what you are struggling from. If you are really struggling, from the material standpoint, he will award you, definitely. He will reward you with whatever you desire for. But ultimately, we need to understand all these things, they have an end. Everything, whatever you go behind, money, fame, wealth, knowledge or beauty or power, everything has an end to it. Because at the time of death, you cannot take away anything. And everything has that bound by birth and death, including Indra, Brahma and Vishnu. So only Mahadeva alone is that birthless state. That's why the Vedas say, Tamevam vidvan amrita iha bhavati nanyak panta vidyate ganaya na anyaha. Na plus anya is nanya. There is no other path for liberation except surrendering to Parameshwara. That is one thing to be noted. An intense bhakti and sadhana. And then Mahadeva has a divine form. The form of Mahadeva is beautifully described in the Shastras, and here Nandi also, in the previous chapter yesterday we saw how Nandi realizes the form of Mahadeva, and he does a beautiful stuti for Lord Shiva, describing his divine form and divine characteristics, which are also explained in the Vedas and Upanishads. He is eternally with Parashakti. He is described as Nilakanta. He is described as Krittivasa. He is described as Pashupati. He is described as molten gold. He is described as golden in complexion, and he is described as three-eyed. He is very serene looking. So that's how the Vedas describe, and he has a divine form. He is not formless, because the Mayavadis describe, formless. Now, formlessness is an aspect of that formed Maheshwara. That is the real understanding. So Mahadeva's form is experienced by Nandi, and that's why if you see the demigods, they were not able to experience that form. They were not able to see the form of Maheshwara because they were not qualified for that. Whereas Nandi was qualified. The demigods were not able to understand, and they were not able to understand Mahadeva without even engaging in bhakti. They tried to catch hold of Mahadeva, and this is a Shiva Leela, and where Mahadeva, he gives the knowledge that no one can attain him without engaging in bhakti. And so that's why Mahadeva did not show his form to the devatas like Brahma, Vishnu and Indra. He spoke through his, just voice only came, Akashvani only came. He did not show his divine form to the devatas because they were not qualified. And Nandi was qualified because of his intense devotion. So those are the takeaway points. Intense bhakti should be done. And Nandi, we have to worship Nandi. Nandishvara namastubhyam samba nanda pradayakam mahadevasya sevartam anugyam dehime prabho. We have to worship Nandi and then ask, oh Nandishvara, please engage me in the service of In every temple of Mahadeva, outside Nandi is there. We have to offer our obeisances to Nandi and then go and approach Mahadeva. So intense bhakti and sadhana like Nandi, not very similar, because we cannot imitate Nandishvara. Nandishvara is an exalted eternal devotee, but we have to seek his blessings to engage in Shiva Bhakti. And then, the divine spiritual form and the divine qualities and characteristics of Mahadeva is beautifully described. And then even the Devatas were not able to see the form of Maheshwara. Even they were tried to search everywhere and they failed to see the form of Maheshwara because they did not engage in Bhakti to Lord Shiva, whereas Nandi was able to see that Nandi had intense Bhakti. So those are the takeaway points from these from yesterday's and today's class. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. I will chant the Kshama Prarthana mantra and then we can take up some questions. And I would encourage you, all of you, to read this chapter. It's really interesting. The 213, 14 and 15 chapter of Varaha Purana, very beautiful Shiva Leela. And one also comes to know about the intense devotion of Nandi. Om yataksharappadaprushtam matrahinam tu yad bhavet tatsarvam shamyatam deva parameshwara namostute visargabindu matrani padapadaksharani cha nyunani cha tiniktani kshamasva parameshwara aparadha sahasrani kriyante harnisham maya daso yamiti mammatva kshamasva parameshwara anyata sharanam nasti tvameva sharanam mama tasmat karanya bhavena raksha maheshwari anyata sharanam nasti tvameva sharanam mama tasmat karanya bhavena raksha maheshwara etat sarvam shri uma maheshwara parabrahmarpanamastu lalitambike सांब शिवार्पणमस्तु श्रीमती गौरी समेत सांब शिवार्पणमस्तु करचरण कृतं वाक्कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा अपराधं विहितम् अविहितं वा सर्वम् एतत् क्षमस्व जय जय करुणा अब्दे श्री महादेव शम्भो माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देवो महेश्वर बन्धवा शिवभक्तांश्च स्वदेशो भुवनत्रयं सांब शिवाय नमः सांब शिवाय नमः सांब शिवाय नमः हर ओं तत्सत्